But we would like to start with Kamala Harris. You know, every time I do a Kamala Harris video, when I go in and I tell the truth about Kamala Harris, I get certain people that get pissed off with me because they say, Tim, all you cover is Kamala Harris. And I'm like, that's not true. They're like, Tim, you can't stand Kamala Harris. You must hate black women. I said, that's definitely not true. I'm married to a black woman. I was born inside a black woman, and I've raised a black woman. But Tim, it just run out of stuff to throw at me. The reason why it seems like I cover Kamala Harris all the time is because she's in the news a lot. The other reason is you probably fish around the internet looking for stories about Kamala Harris. And since you don't get all my updates, you don't get my updates when I talk about Pete or Joe Biden or Senator Elizabeth Warren or anybody else. So now that we've cleared that up, allow me to hammer Kamala Harris once again. So we know Kamala Harris was catching heat because, well, she backed out of a CNN climate town hall that was scheduled for September 4th. She already knew about it, and she scheduled something else to do. That something else to do, according to my information, my reports, was a fundraiser in the Hamptons or somewhere in California. I think it was downtown California somewhere. She's been doing that a lot lately, and we also covered it where Spike Lee was holding his fundraiser that was sold out for. He did that on Friday. So Kamala's been picking up a lot of money. And she's also been receiving a lot of backlash because, well, she flip-flopped on the Medicare. She co-sponsored Bernie Sanders' bill on Medicare for All. And then 2 years later, she comes back because the poll numbers are going down. And she says, it's got to be that Bernie Sanders. I knew I shouldn't have been fighting for the people to get health care. That's got to be the reason why I'm dropping in the polls. Come on, Sylvia. I thought I told you. Be really, really clear. Don't make me fall in the polls because I'm doing something for people. That's what I get for trying to help people. I need to go back and just do what I usually do. So she says she no longer supports Medicare for All. She's had a change of heart. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen, though she has dumped Medicare for All, that may not be the reason why she was tanking in the polls. In fact, we have information to show that it had nothing at all to do with her Medicare for All stance. It may have had something to do with something else. But before I get to that, Kamala Harris, who flip-flopped on Medicare for All, has proven once again that she's a queen of flip-flopping. That's what she does best. I told you, when she was a conservative, that's what she needed to be. She ran to the right of the progressive attorney general in California. She ran to the right. She beat the Republican. On the right. And when I bring this thing up, people don't even want to hear it. They go, la, 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 la. She black, shut up. She a black woman, shut up. But it plays right. It fits her role so perfectly. Because this is what she does. She flip-flops. When it was time to be progressive-ish, she became a little bit more progressive-ish. She stopped calling ICE on every Hispanic teen they had picked up in California. She was like, at first she was like, every time you pick up an Hispanic teen, no matter if they've been convicted of anything, as long as you pick them up, take them to ICE before you even take them to anywhere else. And this wasn't that long ago. This was real recent. Now, it's time to be progressive. She's like, abolish ICE. Abolish ICE. Let's be really, really clear. We need to get rid of ICE. It's like, which one are you? I don't even know who you are, lady. Steve Mnuchin, who gave her campaign, is like, I don't even know you anymore. 1 minute you're conservative, you're a dino, you're a Democrat in name only, and then you're progressive, and then you're... Gosh, I'm getting whiplash. I have to tell my wife to stop donating to your campaign, too. Anyway, back to the point. The thing is Kamala Harris. She's shown that she's really good at flip-flopping. She went back and forth on several issues, Medicare for All. All of a sudden, she's now no longer supports it after being a co-sponsor of it, after championing it, talking about it when it suited her. And now, when she says she's got another engagement, all of a sudden now she's freed up her schedule to go to the CNN Climate Change Town Hall scheduled for September 4th. I think she did it because, once again, she caught backlash and she caved in. Because that's what she does. If you lack the ability to have a core where you make decisions about what you stand for, and you say, you know what, that's who I am, then I don't think that inspires any confidence in you. In fact, I know it doesn't. People will not believe you, and people will not follow you, and people will not be energized by you, meaning people won't come out and vote for you. Kamala Harris supporters don't understand this. They don't get it. They think it's all these superficial reasons. It's not. Of course, there are fringe people who will never vote for whatever person. There are dumb guys who say they never vote for women. But that's not the majority. Most people want the best person for the job. Most people. But be that as it may, all this stuff about fundraisers, that's going to be a moot issue. Meaning it won't matter pretty soon, because pretty soon I don't think people are going to be giving Kamala Harris any more money, because the polls show that Kamala Harris is not a good investment.
Kamala Harris, meanwhile, has dropped significantly. She stood at 17% support in the June poll, but now has the backing of 5% of potential Democratic voters.
So, Willie, obviously, that first CNN poll had the impact of the first debate, where many people believe Senator Harris did very well.
Yeah.
This second debate didn't go quite as well for her, and that is a bit of a precipitous drop. But again, the first may have been more of a flashbulb.
Kamala Harris, Senator Harris, had been leading that third tier and nipping at the heels of Senators Sanders and Warren and tied with them in some polls. So that is a significant drop for her. And Gene Robinson, it's something of an enigma. Kamala Harris is so impressive in so many ways, and yet hasn't been able yet, and we'll just have stipulate again how early it is in this process, hasn't been able, with the exception of that first high she got off the debate performance the first time out in Miami, hasn't been able to climb up to where a lot of people thought she might be at this point.
No, she really hasn't, and she seemed to be on the way. She really seemed to have established herself. She seemed to have made this, at least for a while, a four-person race, because she was very close to Harrison and Warren. So we'll have to see if maybe her number in this poll could be kind of an outlier. I haven't seen her that low in some time, but she never did sort of consolidate that bounce from the first debate, where people, I think Democrats really are looking for who can beat Donald Trump. In that first debate, people saw somebody who could be on a general election debate stage with Donald Trump, going toe to toe and slicing him to ribbons, basically, with her sort of prosecutorial chops. I mean, she's very, very good at that, and but she hasn't built on that, and even the polls that have her higher than 5% don't see her really gaining ground, and so I'm not quite sure what that is. It is early, as you say. We'll see what happens in the next debates. I think she's got a lot of eggs in the basket of South Carolina, and so we'll see if her numbers in that state begin to move up as well.
Yeah, I like the part where Morning Joe, they don't give Tulsi Gabbard any credit for what's going on with Kamala Harris's poll numbers. They kind of skate right past the reality that in the second debate, well, what happened was Kamala Harris ran into a buzzsaw called Tulsi Gabbard. There's no mention of it at all. Tulsi Gabbard's name doesn't come up. That shows us distinct bias in our corporate media. But you already knew that. You had to, because you can count to 5. It's so clear that what they're trying to do is still leave the door open for Kamala Harris, though Kamala Harris is the one who closed the door. Come on, man. They refuse to admit that Kamala Harris, her dissension is directly, in fact, maybe I can make the argument that her dissension is her own fault, not even that of Tulsi Gabbard, because the issues that Tulsi Gabbard raised about Kamala Harris's record, these were not buried treasure that was excavated. You didn't have to dig this stuff up. People have been talking about the issues that Tulsi Gabbard voiced for years. There were articles written about him, about the incarceration levels in California, the issues about the inmates, firefighters that they paid, $1 an hour or something crazy. The issues about prison labor, the issues about marijuana, the issues about truancy, and the parents, and the kids. These issues about the death penalty, the issues about the crime lab fiasco. How did I know about them? Because they were printed and written about long before she had threw her hat in the ring to be elected. And last but not least, what they don't mention is that Tulsi Gabbard's black vote evaporation, if it ever existed at all, I fail to believe it really existed. I think she's a paper tiger. Most people didn't know who she was, and most people didn't care what she said to Jeff Sessions that didn't stop Jeff Sessions from becoming Attorney General, or what she said to Brett Kavanaugh that didn't stop Brett Kavanaugh from being confirmed. Same thing with William Barr. That I think most black folks didn't care. and didn't know. Only us political junkie type people paid attention to it. But more than that, the point is black voters were never excited about Kamala Harris. And you also don't want to give black media any credit that we expose Kamala Harris for what she is. I know I've been sounding the alarm for a couple of years now. Well, hell, you can't expect corporate media to respect the game and actually get credit where it's due, because they don't consider it credit. They're probably pissed off. I mean, definitely Kamala Harris is going to be fighting for their best interests, not ours. So, look, I don't think she can bounce back from this. I think that her boat is sunk. It would take something major to shift this into another trajectory. Now, what's bad about the climate change town hall that she now has agreed to go on? See, it's human psychology, right? So she pissed off activists who have been planning this for a year. It's sanctioned by the DNC. That's the only reason why it's even happening. So the party agreed to this just as well as it agreed to all the debates, okay? This was not new, okay? But once you made this a public issue, I have another thing to do. Well, now it's going to be on the front of everything. It's going to be so conspicuous. Everything that Kamala does at the town hall for climate change now, or climate action, or whatever they call it, because I don't think they use the word climate change. The CNN Climate Town Hall is going to be front and center. All focus is going to be on Kamala Harris, which gives her another opportunity to do what? Fail. And it's her own doing. No one on Kamala's staff said, you know what, Kamala, maybe right now is not a good time to attend a fundraiser. Let's push it back a couple of weeks. Right now is not a time. No one had the guts to do that. And if they did, then Kamala Harris is a knucklehead, and she's stubborn, and she's her own worst enemy. Nathaniel Yakopitikage, spokesperson for 350 Action, they said the Environmental Action Group welcomed the candidate's decision to attend the forum. Listen to what he says. And I know I butchered his name horribly. But listen to this. He says, from the get-go, Kamala Harris and the Harris team should have rearranged her schedule to ensure she would unquestionably attend the CNN Climate Town Hall. Now that she will be in attendance, we look forward to hearing her climate plans. And in particular, we're looking to hear her plans on how she would rapidly transition the U.S. off fossil fuels, shift us to a 100% renewable economy, and how she will support a Green New Deal that will create millions of jobs for all. See, now she will be on the hot seat. Now there will be nowhere to hide. And now a bunch of word salad will not save you. See, if she would have done the right thing to begin with, maybe she could have just been small, made a couple of comments, and kind of breezed through, you know? Stayed in the middle, stayed, under the radar during the town hall. But now, it's all going to be focused on her. So she's going to need to do very well, because all the lights will be shined on her, exposing all of her imperfections. Her weak points, her lack of depth on this issue will be totally exposed. On the flip side, if she can come out and be amazing, well, then hell, it'll be a good way for her to bounce back. I don't expect it, though. I don't think a person says, I can't come to an event because they were going to kill it if they came. That's just me being logical. For some reason, Morning Joe and the rest of these guys, whatever, no one else gets it. But people tend not to cancel events that they would destroy at. Like, I don't know, man. The Rock, he's not going to cancel an event where he gets to take his shirt off and do one of these. He might cancel an event where he's got to, recite poetry. But when you got your best attributes being displayed, hey, man, it's a knockdown. You just do that. It's like Kobe. Count it. That's old, isn't it? My bad. Kobe don't even play no more. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, so a little bit about the climate change thing, guys. Look, I'm pissed off about it because not everybody can attend it. Jay Inslee, though I'm not a big fan, his main focus is climate change. But because he's not polling at 2%, he can't even attend. Tulsi Gabbard, according to the polling, doesn't fit the criteria to attend either. That sucks because I would love to hear Tulsi Gabbard on the stage talking about climate change. You know the usual suspects that'll be there: Biden, Yang, Bernie, Warren, Beto, Buttigieg. Oh, and Julian Castro. He qualified. And Klobuchar and Cory Booker as well. Yeah, I think that's everybody. It's not a good look for her. It is what it is. Will she be able to bounce back? I don't think she will, but that's the news on Kamala Harris, guys. Sometimes you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.